for being here and doing this interview with us. Just want to ask you a series of questions. Okay, the first question is, how long have you been with Raw?
About 6 months, around there. Maybe more than that, slightly, but I think below a year.
Okay. We can answer. I've been in Raw for. You just repeat the question.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, sure.
Give a context of it.
So how long have you been with Raw?
I've been with Raw for about 6 months to a year.
Okay.
So how long have you been with Wee Hoe?
How long I've been with Wee Hoe? There's actually a truncated period in between.
Like how?
I was previously training with him when he was a PT previously in another gym. It was about a year plus. Then after that, I stopped in between, and then I came back again.
Why do you go back again?
I feel that he's. Sorry again.
Why do you find him again?
Why did I find him again? Wow.
That's it. You don't know anybody else.
Precisely because I have nobody else, that's why I find you
Yeah.
right now. Okay, I think number one is also because the training methods are quite effective. Like in the sense that I think initially he was more lean towards power training, but I think when I first started the power training, I didn't know if that was what I wanted. But as I saw the effects after that, it's also quite a surface level in the sense that I actually quite like the aesthetics of it. So, and I think male trainers are generally better in that sense in power training compared to females. Like biologically speaking, I think females might not have such an advantage compared to males lah. And I think also because he makes the training sessions very fun. He creates a lot of comments, he talks a lot of things. So the session can be quite enjoyable. Like it's not so much of a rigid one-to-one training that, oh, like I'm your trainer, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. And he actually tries to understand his customers' limitations. So if let's say I do a certain stance and I say that, oh, my back is aching, I can't continue, he will say, oh, that's fine, how about we modify it, we do something else, that you can still achieve the same effectiveness but in a different way. So it's not so much about like what he wants as a trainer, but what the customer actually wants and he's trying to help us achieve that.
Very long answer.
This is more the answer.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so what do you like most about Raw?
First thing that comes to mind would be location-wise, very accessible. It's accessibility is important. Like it's not too far, there's shelter, and I would say that probably also because the people around here as well. Like even if you come in, even if there are other trainers, they're training around, they will just do their own thing. So you can just do your own thing. Like people will not be so-called judging you in that sense. So there's kind of the freedom here as well. And yeah, and I think it's more of the people here. Yes.
Okay. So just now you mentioned about for male trainers, female trainers, and then can we talk about what's the difference between Raw and a typical gym trainer? I mean you also been under a few more trainers, right?
Yes.
Along this journey. So what's the difference between a Raw trainer or a typical gym trainer?
Typically different. I would say the differences is more on the approaches. But I think it's more, okay, firstly I would say that if it comes to Raw, I have more flexibility in terms of timing because that's one of the things that's important to me. But in a gym wise, I think if you don't have a trainer, it's kind of hard to figure out how to use the equipment as well. So, and in the gym trainer, it will be pretty awkward for me to just go up to a trainer on the floor and say, hey, I want to train. So, which is very, for me personally, it's very awkward lah. And also things like, how do I say it? It's also too, like, in a gym, the trainers there are more like, probably not that approachable in my opinion. And there's probably also because they have a certain number of sessions to sell, and so there's a certain commitment of a package they actually have to go to. So, which might not be that ideal for me. If I'm someone who's just trying out to see that, oh, let's come together and see if your training methods caters to my needs. And if it doesn't, what am I going to do with it? If halfway, let's say, I sign a 30 session, 20 session, and maybe let's say if I hit 5, I said that, oh, I don't want to continue it anymore, then it's going to be a pretty restricting itself in that sense. Yeah.
So you mentioned about flexibility in terms of time, the location, and the flexibility in terms of the packages. Is there any other differences that you also see with training with me and other trainers, or the trainers that you observed when you were in Amore?
I would say trainers in Amores, I would say that the turnover is pretty.
Trainers in other places.
Okay, trainers outside, please cut that out. Oh yeah, so trainers outside, I would say that the turnover will be higher. So, I mean, personally, as humans, like when we get used to something, we just want to continue with what's already there. But of course, people come and go. So, if it's outside a raw, because I think probably it's also because it's a boutique gym. So, I mean, if the trainer is here, the trainer moves to another gym, you still can just follow and get the same trainer again. But whereas if it's tied to that gym, to an external gym, if the trainer resigns, then it's a decision for me, right? To whether I want to continue with the session or do I follow this trainer. So, but of course, it will also affect how we plan our financials and the further impacts.
Okay, so the next question is, why do you make the switch from the previous gym or previous commercial gym?
Previous commercial gym.
What made you make the switch? Why didn't you not continue with
It
it?
can also be as simple as following him.
I would say because the remaining trainers that are there, I didn't really like the styles. It's more like the styles just doesn't suit me lah. So for me personally, because I'm a person who's more towards power training and toning, so my previous trainer had certain limitations due to injury issues. So there were certain weights or certain range, certain movements that they can't do. So which is quite difficult. And over a period of time, when I started the training with that trainer, I would say that certain muscle masses were lost lah. So I didn't really like the thought of progressing into something where the muscle masses keep going down. So I didn't want that. So I chose not to continue because it's not what I want. Yeah, but obviously she's definitely a good trainer as well. Yeah.
So again, the approach is different.
Yes, the approach is different.
So far in that 6 months that you are here in Raw, how has Raw helped you? It doesn't have to be in just physically, right? In any aspect. How has Raw helped you?
If there's any.
If there's any. I would say that I made some new connections here. Like, I mean, although it's not like friends, but it's just like meeting new people, talking with new people, like even just other external clients who are training here. It's quite interesting to talk to them, to communicate with them on how they think and what sort of opinions they provide. So it's more of exposure-wise, because there are different people there's a reason why certain gyms are catered for certain industries and why certain boutique gyms are catered for a certain type of people. And sometimes when you stay in a commercial gym, there are some types of people that you probably might never get exposed to compared to coming to a boutique gym because the targeted crowd is very different. So moving from environment to environment, it gives you more exposure in terms of people and connections.
So it sounds like...
So who do you think this Raw is catered for?
Who do I think this Raw is catered for?
From your point of view. That's not correct answer.
I would say personally maybe catered for more niche customers. Like in the sense like, because I think PT is also not something that people are willing to pay money for, depending on the general public. It depends on what you believe in. So to pay a certain amount of money to come to a boutique gym, the customers I would say probably are targeted more niche. So, but as to what kind of niche, I can't describe that. But it's just that if you're willing to spend a certain amount of money, the general belief is that you think that training is something that's good for you. But in the gym, most people you pay a membership fee and you expect to attend as many classes as possible. But certain techniques and certain approaches in terms of exercise is not something that a mass class can teach you compared to a one-to-one. So a mass class, the teacher can at most just let you know that, oh, you just have to bend down like this, but they can't really attend to you personally to really let you know, is your structure correct, is your pose correct, are you carrying too much weight, too heavy, too light, should you add more? Yeah.
So, what is the most impactful thing that Raw has done for you?
Define impactful. What kind of impactful?
Like it's beyond your expectations, or it really surprised you, or you didn't expect this, you didn't see this coming, or you feel that, oh, actually after doing this I realized that the previous things that you're doing are shit.
Oh. I would say impactful wise, maybe in terms of the equipments that I see. Like certain equipments I didn't expect it will be there. Like, I mean, maybe based on because the previous gym that I've been going, I've not seen such equipments. So it's actually quite interesting to see like how one equipment you can use it for very multi-functions, which you can't really see in certain gyms. So I guess that's the more impactful part of it.
From you? Okay, so why are you continuing with Raw?
Why am I continuing with Raw?
I continue with Wee Hoe.
Actually, the thing is a very conflicting kind of.
That's
similar.
Let's say I'll continue with Wee Hoe.
So,
replace.
maybe try to say what's the most impactful thing that
You have done for. Okay.
I've done.
Can.
You have done for me,
Yeah.
Other than making fun of you.
Okay, the bantering was fun. The bantering and I would say in terms of like the opinions that we exchange, we're same but different in certain ways. I think certain values that we have are pretty good friends. So I would say that's also a different kind of connection that you can make because there's also some places whereby you go, a trainer is just a trainer. After training, I just go home, bam, that's it. But being able to exchange your views and exchanging some opinions on certain things and getting advices is something that I treasure, appreciate a lot. Yeah.
Just want to make sure we are still I also go home. She also go home. So just confuse people. I still go my place. You still go your place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why are you continuing with Raw?
Why am I continuing with Raw?
Okay, why are you still continuing with me? You know, even though we changed places and then now we end up in Raw. Why you still choose to come?
Location is definitely most of it, but as long as the location is not too inaccessible, I think that's fine for me generally. I would say also because I enjoy the training sessions as well. Like if the training session is too rigid or like too boring in a sense, I might not choose to continue as well. Yeah.
Understand that? No. Okay. So what advice would you tell someone who have not tried Raw?
What advice would I tell someone who have not tried training in the Raw gym? Give it a try. Like just be open. Yeah, just be open and different exposure. Different places give you different exposures. So even in a small gym or an outside gym doesn't mean that when you move from a boutique gym to a commercial gym is bad. It's just different exposure, and at the end of the day, if you explore finish, you more or less explore the things that you want to try, and you see that maybe Raw is still more suitable for you. You can always come back again.
And lastly, why should anyone join Raw?
Why should anyone join Raw?
Yeah.
Why should anyone join Raw? This is the answer I cannot.
Because of Wee Hoe.
Huh? Wee Hoe, I think you will lessen the customer base.
Do you have anything that you want to tell Wee Hoe that you have not told him before?
Wow, something I've not told you before. What you think I have not told you before?
It's great. Well done.
I go out first. I go out first.
Are you gonna cry?
Are you going to cry?
No.
What do you think is something that I've not told you
I
before?
don't know.
You wouldn't know what.
I don't know.
You can make a guess.
What do you want to tell him? Are you thankful for him? Appreciate him? What you must
I'll say, yeah, you're very, for your age wise, you are very open-minded for someone. Yeah, I think I kind of see you like an older brother lah, in that sense. So, yeah, I think you make the training sessions very enjoyable. Except maybe you can stop commenting less.
Okay.
think okay, that should be good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.